welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa. I am the reclusive reader, and today we are going to go over all of the books that I read during the month of June. This was probably one of my absolute favorite months so far in 2025. I think I found my absolute new favorite book series slash author. I think I literally found a new series that I'm just in love with. I don't know if that means that I have a lot of childhood trauma, but we don't need to talk about that. I really enjoyed the month of June. It had the most 5-star books that I had in a month yet, and that's with me trying to be more particular about the books I read. These are all the books I read during the month of June. Let me know if you read any of these books. Let me know what your favorite read during the month of June was. I'll let you know which one of these was mine. I hope you enjoy. First up was I got sent this book as an ARC from the publisher, but I just didn't get around to reading it. Honestly, I was gonna wait until it was more fall vibes, but when this book got published, I just kind of was itching to dive into it, and it was available on Libby, so I got the audiobook, which was really well done. The book is Starving Saints by 𝓙𝓾𝓷𝓮. This was a really gory, horrific book, but it actually had a really good story. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. The reason why I gave it that, even though I did enjoy the story, I just felt like it was a little like confusing at times. I don't know if it was intentional, like if it was supposed to be confusing, because it did then kind of come together, and it was like, all right, it didn't really blow me away, but if someone was looking for like a creepy, nunny, churchy vibe that they wanted very gruesome, I would totally recommend this. That's The Starving Saints by 𝓙𝓾𝓷𝓮, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, I got it on audiobook through Libby, was The Tenant by 𝓙𝓏 McFadden. Now, I feel like last year I read a bunch of Frida's, and if you do read them like back to back to back, like if you're like, into her stuff, I could see why you could think that things are repetitive or so. I saw a lot of similarities that she did in The Tenant with The Housemaid, because I like loved The Housemaid. I really did end up enjoying this. Like after, I'm like, this is gonna be so messy, and boy, was it messy. I feel like I knew what was gonna happen, and then it did kind of happen, like how the twist was going to twist. And even though I didn't guess exactly how it twisted, I guessed like who the twist was going to be about. But overall, I still really did enjoy this. I love me a messy thriller, especially like domestic messy thrillers like this. It's just like keeps me gripped, because I'm just like, what is happening? I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, The Tenant by 𝓙𝓏 McFadden. Next up is another audiobook I got in Libby that I have physically. It's You Reach Sam by Dustin Thau, and this was so heartbreaking. Like, I definitely feel like if you like the whole YA, If He Had Been With Me, like those books, and just YA, like kind of like the high schoolers going through it emotionally, this is your book. I thought it was a very good story of grief and loss, and how it really, like, it just hurts, and I thought it was done very well. I just found the pacing to be a little bit off. Like, I don't know if maybe I needed the book to be a little bit longer to like play everything out, to get those certain connections, but I didn't get those connections, but I still gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. You Read Sam by Dustin Thau, I definitely want to read. There's a next one coming out. It's not out yet. It's like something about Oliver, who's in this book, and then When Haru Was Here by him. I have that on my shelf that I do plan on reading still. It's just, man, these books, these type of grief books, man, they get to me. I was crying. But yeah, You Reach Sam by Dustin Thau, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. All right, next up is my new favorite series, because this had me in a chokehold. I had a feeling when the new one came out, everybody's talking about it, I was like, this is going to get me. I didn't think it was going to get me, but it did get me. Binding and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. We're going to do these back to back, because as you can see, they were a fave. So you got Binding 13, gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's the connection. Somehow she makes you connect to these characters like nothing I ever experienced before. What these characters go through and how she writes it is so relatable. I mean, I have yet to find it obviously in a book. I have never related to more characters so much. I literally loved every single character. And like, I don't mean like the villain. I didn't love him, obviously. I just found that every single character, I loved their purpose. I loved how they elevated the story. And I couldn't wait to continue the series. Binding 13 left on such a cliffhanger. I didn't even hesitate to jump right into Keeping 13. How Binding 13 ends is just so heartbreaking. You can't not immediately run into Keeping 13. I did unfortunately see a freaking spoiler on Pinterest about like what happened, but I didn't know anything about it. I like saw this like little spoiler and that's all. And so I like kind of knew what was coming, but I'm just so engrossed into this story. I loved the parents are probably like, I was talking to my one friend on Instagram. If we don't get a story about the parents, it's going to be a letdown, because Johnny's parents, the Kavanaughs, are what I need that story because of how much you just get hinted to it during the series. I want it. And so I read these two on my Kobo, and then I went out and I annotated them, and then I went and bought the whole series. So now I have them on. I'm on Saving Six, and I'm reading that physically. Yeah, it's a sports romance, like rugby, Irish sports romance, but like seriously, it's like these kids have just been thrown into adulthood way too early. And it's just, the story's just so good. It's just so good, over the top. I gave Keeping 13 an Infinity Star. 5 stars, but Infinity Stars, my first ever Infinity Star book. I want to actually like reread it already. If they had graphic audio with some good voice actors, I would totally be rereading this right now. I'm going to continue this series and I can't wait. So that'll be in my next month roundup. So stay tuned for that. Binding and Keeping 13, 5 out of 5 stars. Next up is a book I've had on my shelf for a while, but I finally got it through Libby, the audiobook. It was Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. And if you love that like forest rot, Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, like this is your book. It was a great gothic horror, spooky vibes with YA, so it wasn't like too spooky and stuff. And I just loved how it came together. And I love those like the like romances that like are forbidden, but they need to stay together to like survive and stuff. And oh my gosh, yes, it's literally Your Blood, My Bones. Like that's literal in the book. Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next up, we have another 5-star read. It was Caught Up by Navessa Allen. Now, I love Lights Out. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because like I didn't adore the whole like mafia portion in that story. And you're gonna be like, girl, how can you say that if this is about the mafia portion? Because just let me explain. So in Lights Out, I love the vibe. I love the mask. I love that she was the nurse. I love the stalker. I love that vibe. I just felt like this twist of the whole mafia and that didn't go. But in Caught Up, she took this to another level. Yes, she did. And apparently I'm a sucker for some BDSM. I loved how confident the female main character was. I think that was one of the main reasons I love this book so much, is she just had the confidence that I desire. It was just amazing to read that. And then Nico, he was my first motorcycle and I was here for it. So yeah, Caught Up by Navessa Allen. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Are you gonna get a thought-provoking plot that makes you sit there and think and stare at the wall? No, but is it gonna be an amazing fun ride? Hell yeah. So Caught Up by Navessa Allen, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Next up, I got this for book of the month, and so I got it on hold for Libby and it came through. And then I liked it so much, it was only $8. I got the exclusive edition. It's Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. This, right from the beginning, I was actually hooked because I was like, how are not all the romanticy girlies like fangirling over this book right now? The most forbidden love I've ever read in my life, and literal enemies in a way, and what they have to do to like continue on with their lives. And the twist at the end like twisted so hard I literally broke my neck. So I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven, and I would highly recommend this, especially if you're a romanticy girly. All right, last but not least, we have The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. but these were my first Brandon Sanderson books, the original Mistborn trilogy. This was not my favorite book. It's my least favorite book of the original trilogy. It's not that I thought the pacing was off. I just like didn't, I almost wanted more to happen. Not saying not a lot happened. I wanted like more to almost happen leading up. And then like the ending was so crazy. It was literally wild, and how it all like came apart was cool. And I get it. Like I see how he set up for the future series that continue, but I did not expect what happened to the main characters to happen to them. I was completely mind blown and shooketh. I don't know what I really expected from this, but this one just, it didn't hit me like the other ones did at all. Like, and I was just, after I read it, I was kind of like, one, I was kind of glad I was done, and two, I was like, that's seriously how it ends right now? Like, are you being for real right now? So yeah, The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So that's a wrap. Those are all the books I read during the month of June. 9 total books. That I feel like I like to do a nice mix of types of books just to keep me on my toes and keep, you know, the mood reader in me happy. Let me know if you read any of those books and what your thoughts are on them. Let me know what your top reads from June were, and maybe we can connect over our shared love of reading. Thanks for being here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.